It's like if a spaceship landed in your backyard, you're not gonna, you're gonna go talk and say, hey, what's going on here? That's what we have to do. Why can't we form a committee, a group of people, and go talk to these people? I mean, hell, they're human beings just like we are.
They don't speak our language.
They do. You'll
tried
find
speaking
English
to them.
speakers over there.
I tried
You will.
speaking to them.
All right? Put the pitchfork away and think like a Cape Codder. Because most of the people in this room, you came here.
Where do you people stand on this issue? Do you want to?
Sit down.
No, no.
Answer a question.
I'm talking.
Get this lady out of here.
Oh my
Hey! Get that camera running!
No!
Go on, knock it off!
Janice.
Answer the question!
Ridiculous!
What that have you with? What that have you with? Well, enough! Whoa, everybody settle down. Thank you.
We are fundamentally transforming the country into a third world hellhole.
I get a text from a constituent with a clip from Hyannis News documenting that there were indeed people that were moved in, I think it was Sunday night.
Middle of the night.
Excuse me?
Nothing nefarious.
Middle of the night.
We got no advance notice other than that they were going to be moved in at some time Saturday morning, and that's what we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. On this issue, give me Yarmouth residents show of hands. Not that many. I thought we'd have more. Okay. And we're going to tell you tonight what we think we can do and what we think we can't do. What the issues are that are within our control and issues that aren't within our control. Getting information to our town administrator, who actually has performed admirably, very admirably in protecting the town's interests from the beginning of this, what I call crisis until the present time. We have also monitored social media. I know the group has a Facebook page, and we're familiar with not every comment, but the general flavor of the commentary. We've gotten a lot of emails on this issue. I've gotten phone calls. I've met people on the street. I think we're pretty well acquainted with people's feelings on this issue, but we're going to find out hopefully more tonight about that. But I want to dispel a few myths that I picked up from social media. There are accusations that the Board of Selectmen is somehow acting in concert with the state. There's nothing further from the truth. Bringing migrants to Yarmouth is not something Yarmouth officials or staff had anything to do with. This is without precedent. This isn't something we've ever dealt with before. This isn't something that's ever happened to us before. So to think that this is some kind of an agreement between Yarmouth and the state is totally ridiculous. It makes no sense at all. We're here to try to defend the town's interests and to represent the people of our community. That's what we're concerned with. The other thing is, we can't call up Governor Healey and tell her to stop it. That's not going to happen.
Why not?
Why not? Because we don't have any power over the governor.
No is a strong word. No is a strong word.
Why don't you wait till I recognize you? Is that fair?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry. I
That's
didn't mean
all
to
right.
interrupt.
That's what I hear you. I know there's a lot of emotions and everything like that, but we want to spend our time constructively and do what we think we can do and what hopefully we can get some results on. We've never even been afforded the opportunity to have any discussion with anybody in the governor's office about this issue. They haven't even invited us to say, do you have any concerns? How will this impact your community? What kind of support might you need if we move X number of families into your community?
With
We were
all due
told-
respect, sir, they're not gonna ask
We
you
were
to get a
told what was
problem.
going to happen. we don't get complete or consistent responses from the state when we contact them. That's a problem. There's a big communication problem there.
Couple things that concern me is you're not getting answers from the state, and the governors of these states are not getting answers from the federal government either. Governor Hochul went down to talk to Biden, and she was not seen. We're not going to go anywhere because this has been going on for 3.5 years with people overlooking. And of course, they were going to span them all out. They come in at night in cars and whatever. My main concern is the health of my grandchildren. When these kids are going to start going to school, they have walked through the jungles of South America. They have just walked in. We don't know what diseases they have. Our kids are required to have vaccinations or they're not allowed in these schools. And I am going to request and demand that the health department puts together an agenda for every single child that ends up in our town before they set foot on a school bus, let alone sit next to mine. Department accountable. So if there's a certain meeting or whatnot, but I want to see it in writing what these kids are required to have before they go in and sit next to my grandkids, and that's all I have to say.
And I want you to hold the governor's feet to the fire. Because I don't think, if you're not on them, they're not gonna do anything. It's gonna fall on a deaf ear. There's all kinds of violations over at the Yarmouth Resort over there. I'd say you should drag your feet on taking care of all of that as long as you keep them out of there. But I think you should just tell her no. Pack them up on a bus and send them back to Maura Healey's house. I think it's right that you see him. I don't want to pay for it, and I doubt anybody else in this room wants to pay for it.
Yeah, I don't think so. This is gonna be the last meeting we're ever gonna have on this issue. And we're gonna have to have a whole series of meetings. We might even dedicate an entire night to a meeting if we have to. But this is an evolving situation, and it's all predicated on information, and we're getting it almost trickling. We're not getting a lot of straight dialogue.
We just can't say no. Don't send them here.
I heard you the first time.
I mean, I get the number from B&B, we can always send them back to wherever they came from.
We'll pay for it.
As far as I know, the population that has been arriving here are not Spanish speaking, they're Haitians.
French Creole.
French Creole.
Number one. Number two, in our school systems, we have what they call ELL teachers, which are called English language.
But there's only three.
Teachers,
And that's
and
why our
they
tax
teach
keep going up.
They teach non-English speaking kids, and it does not take away from regular classroom instruction.
No, yes, it does. Don't lie.
So are they in their own separate classroom?
I don't
Will
know.
those kids be in their own separate
I
classroom?
don't know.
They're not.
I don't know, but I'm going to tell you something, sir. My daughter's an ELL teacher, and a lot of those kids, through that supplemental help, learn to speak English quite well and move on into the regular.
Does she speak French and Spanish and
She
Portuguese?
speaks Portuguese, Spanish, and English.
How
What
about
about
French?
French?
No.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta have some hires.
Yes,
More
yes.
hires.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
you
more.
bet, of course.
Put their taxes up some more.
So my name is Cheryl Hall. I'm a concerned citizen, and I came here tonight with 100 of my newest friends. I think most of you have heard my name, and you've probably, as you mentioned, been taking a look at our Facebook group. I think one of the things I want you to take away from what I have put together, all of this was mobilized in less than 2 weeks. There's a sense of urgency that I think a lot of us aren't feeling from you guys. And we really need you to be communicating with us, showing us what pressure you're putting on the state, and just letting us know exactly what is happening. There's a lot of fear that you're going to be hearing from all of these people tonight. We don't know what we don't know. And
Neither do we.
and our list of concerns is huge, and it's
Find
valid.
out!
And we need to put together that list of questions. We need you to be asking us for what our concerns are. I don't think anyone has reached out to us to find out what our concerns really are, to quantify that list. You know, Cape Cod is a special and beautiful place. It's not just a problem for our town. We need you guys to be working with the other towns to have a unified front on this. It's not just us, and we just really need you to be putting together, an aggressive plan on how you're going to tackle this for us. That's all I have.
Hi, my name is Joseph Delicio. I'd like to make a recommendation to all of you. The biggest problem, as I'm seeing, I'm behind the scenes, Cheryl does all the posting and stuff, and I'm the guy that reads all the posts. But we need information, and we need it immediately. So my recommendation to all of you is to start an information page, maybe add it to the town's website or something that we can look at every day and find the answers and find the work that you're doing for us, because after all, you do work for us. We're all concerned citizens. I'm concerned for the police department, the fire department, for the safety of our town residents.
Right.
And my concern is we are going to be potentially faced, we are being faced, with an unknown number of children who are arriving in town. And my concern would be, what effect is this going to have specifically on the DY school system in terms of a head count? Could this be 20 children, 30, 40, whatever that number is? How soon can that number be ascertained? And how would that factor into the DY budget, which is, as far as I know, it's already set for this calendar year?
It will impact our school budget, there's no question about that.
Jerry O'Connell, me and my 4 brothers, we grew up here in Yarmouth, all attended Yarmouth schools. My parents owned businesses here. After my time, when I retired from the Marine Corps, I came home to my small town. I noticed my town was different, changed. The last few years, it's changed a lot. And it's going to continue to change. I think these people are going to be shoved down our throat. I don't think they're going to be sent away. I don't think there's anything we can do about it. I hate to say that, but there's probably going to be more coming. My question is, and my proposal is, since there is no plan, can we make a plan? What can we do here in Yarmouth?
The citizens.
Can we take this into our hands and have has anybody been to the hotel besides some guy who drove by in a pickup truck to harass somebody of color? Has anybody been to the hotel to speak to the people and represent the town? Has anybody wondered, hey, can we go talk to these people? I mean, it's like if a spaceship landed in your backyard, you're not gonna, you're gonna go talk and say, hey, what's going on here? That's what we have to do. Why can't we form a committee, a group of people, and go talk to these people? I mean, hell, they're human beings just like we are.
They don't speak our language.
They do. You'll
tried
find
to
English speakers over there. You will. All right? Put the pitchfork away and think like a Cape Codder. Because most of the people in this room, you came here and we welcomed you.
Yeah.
Okay? You came here and Cape Cod welcomed you. All right? Now, we're Cape Codders and we have to welcome these people because you can't get rid of them. You're not going to get rid of them.
If we have teachers that can teach them language, we can have them
Right.
go with us to that
So
hotel.
that's
and
why.
ask.
Can we form a committee to get together, think about this, and take some action? If the government at the state level is not going
What's
to
the
give them
action you wanna
physicals,
take?
why can't we give them physicals?
What's the action that you want to take, though?
Why can't we form a committee, go talk to the people, screen them ourselves for help?
We already have all that.
Open up the dialogue.
I
We
mean,
can
are
try to
forming
do
a
something.
welcome
Look
committee?
Them people are here to stay. They're here to stay.
Their job is to do what we want them to do as our elected officials.
I'm just proposing, okay?
Look at me.
I am proposing, sir, that we as a town put a committee of people together to talk to these people. They're human beings just like we are. Okay? Granted, oh, they might have diseases. Well, we don't know that yet. They don't speak English. You don't know that. I'll use sign language. I'll bring crayons. No, I don't, sir, but I have time to do this.
You want to say there's, you want to get a committee to approach these people and see if there's a constructive solution.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I have time to do that myself.
Okay. Who's next?
Stag, 23-year, young friend. Piggyback a little bit to COVID. You got 7 days incubation period before people started to show symptoms of being sick. All right? So there was another gentleman that spoke before about the ambulances in the Harborside Hotel. Okay? So the detail to it, which I found out from one of the gentlemen over there with a video camera doing the interview, it's a 6-month-old baby that was bleeding. Now, was the baby fall and bleeding because of that? I don't know. Did the baby have tuberculosis? We don't know. Anyway, another point that I'm trying to make here is that there's other people in the hotel that are being admitted to our schools, and they are subjected to tuberculosis or some godly known other disease that has a long incubation period. You're going to get our kids sick that are in the school system, see why? So I'm asking you folks as a selectman in order to put some type of moratorium together in order to keep those kids out of school until there's some type of period of time that goes by that any disease will surface before they get the rest of our kids sick.
I've been in healthcare 37 years, and I'm here to tell you today that that's a really good point. It could be anything, you know, COVID, TB, you don't know, AIDS, whatever's coming from any country. It's just, that is a really important point, and we need Maura Healey and the rest of them up there to support us. Do we have any information on these people? Have they had any kind of shots? Is there any information that we could get? Because if not, they absolutely positively should not be in with other kids or anything. I mean, not just the children, what about there's a lot of elderly people that volunteer in the schools, and, you know, just people in general, walking in the supermarket.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I'm hearing a lot of concerns about infectious disease, vaccinations and the like, and I need to tell you, one of the things that we did even today, conducted an emergency session with our various departments. We're inventorying, you know, the concerns that we have, at all of which the items that you've raised have been raised by some of the department heads and shared that with the state. And I received a report from our health director this morning that the state has a rapid response medical team that is on site evaluating a medical condition and conducting health screening for all of the folks that have been placed in our community, and that's an ongoing process, and there is professional medical care
Here?
here
Why didn't
in
they do
Yarmouth
it before
at
they
the
sent
site.
them? Why didn't they
They said that they had health screenings at a welcome center. We didn't get those results, that there are medical professionals on site conducting health screenings.
I hope you get some serious, I hope you get more concrete evidence of that, and I
Come on,
hope,
no paper
I
trail,
hope it's
really?
happening, I know. I wonder.
So you have people on site, when they say on site, do they mean in Yarmouth, or do they mean in Boston?
No, I referenced, I was informed today that there is on site in Yarmouth, the rapid response medical team conducting health screenings.
And those
looking
people
at the
aren't-
medical issues and concerns.
And those people aren't required to be working with the town officials?
Well, you're not getting information, we're not getting information. And that's probably where some of those Facebook posts have come, you know, like we feel like you're in cahoots. Because we're not getting information. And my question to you is, where exactly do you stand?
I mean, I've heard a lot of word salad, like we're representing the town, you know, and that's what, you know, what you're supposed to say, but do you want them here? Or are we just going to acquiesce that they're here and move on and try to solve the problems that come with them? I mean, or should we just take a playbook from the vineyard? Because that's what I feel like. You're glaring at me.
Well, I'm listening and thinking about what you're saying. I mean, it's really hard to answer that question without knowing what the state's plan is. How long do they?
But that, my question
Martha's
is,
Vineyard didn't know the state's
How
plan.
long do they put these states in education? I don't know.
Once they're here, they're here, but where
Well,
do
you
you
say that,
all
but I don't know
stand?
that.
How do we get
I
them?
don't
You
know.
don't know where
You
you
may be
stand,
right.
you don't know your feelings on this? Where do you stand? Do you want them here?
My job is to enforce local regulations, local zoning requirements.
And represent your people?
Correct. That's
Well,
correct.
I think a lot of us, I mean, we have a laundry list of concerns that when they're here, but, I mean, what are we doing to make it so they're not here? I'm not a people person, don't get me wrong, but we have a lot of issues that we have here. We have the extra.
I think this is an appropriate time, Bob, to break away just briefly, because I think this is important to explain how it is that these motels open themselves up to have these people live there.
I think it's
What happens is, this arrangement is between the state and the properties.
And the motels.
Has nothing to do with us.
Okay? But don't
They don't issue a building permit.
But you haven't told us where you stand.
On the proposal is,
Well, in the next town election, you'll know where we all stand.
I didn't interrupt you. So what they have is you've got to commit for either like 11 months or a year and give the state.
We only had a 30-day stay in our motels.
Okay, all right, sit down.
30 days. Sit down,
Let me answer your question. Sit down. Did you go to law school, sir?
Not yet.
Okay, good, because I think you should start. Now, a 30-day requirement, we're trying to ask.
How good is that your answer? Because you still haven't answered my
We
question.
don't take action or pre-action plans, ma'am, until we have all the information and know what our chances of success are.
We know the information, they're here. We know the concerns we have. Obviously, everybody here has a laundry list.
Enforce the 30 days.
Where do you people stand on this issue? Do you want them?
Sit down.
No, no.
Answer a question.
I'm talking.
Get this lady out of here.
Oh my
Hey! Get that camera running! Go on, knock it off! Answer the question!
Oh my God! Freedom of speech!
Answer the question! All because you want to answer the question! You work for us, we don't work for you. You got that right!
not answer her question.
She asked you a direct question. She asked you a direct question. You just told us the issue, and then you threw her out.
Anybody notice? Are you? No, but at least I am aware of it. Answer a question.
What that have to do with it?
See, this is the town.
What that have to do with it? What that have to do with it? Whoa, enough! Whoa, everybody settle down. Thank you.
Somebody tell me. I've been here for 11 years, and yes, I was welcome, however, we pay taxes, and unlike these people, of course, they're all illegal aliens. I am in healthcare, I'm in home care, I work off Cape, and I'm from the Lawrence and Lowell area, and I have seen Lawrence and Lowell go down the tubes with all the excessive illegal immigration that's flooding into both of those cities. And the surrounding communities are all very heavily negatively affected. The one little bit of information, Rockland County in New York I found out, was able to keep a whole flock of illegal aliens out by, because they said that the motel or wherever they were gonna put them was not zoned as a shelter, as a homeless shelter. So they were able to keep them out with that. Because we know we're gonna be getting tons more. They're trying to normalize illegal immigration. You know, you're not supposed to say illegal aliens. That's what they are. We know they are. They don't belong here. And I don't blame them for coming, because if I was them, my God, it's a free ride. Everything free in America. They get free everything, and it's way better than where they came from. So in that sense, I don't bother them. I mean, I don't blame them. All these people and all these, you know, the ones who aren't coming for nefarious reasons, and plenty of them are, you know, they want a better life, and over here they'll certainly get it, and it's got to be handed to them. You know, maybe some of them will work. I mean, you look up down in Market Basket and Bourne, I'm sure they're all illegal. None of them speak English. They're all Guatemalan or Colombian or something. They appear to be hard workers, but they have to be all illegals. How did we ever get that many all at once that don't speak English? But, you know, we can't keep this up. They're trying to, the Healey administration, you knew it was coming when she got in. They're trying to normalize this. This is some humanitarian crisis, and it's of their making. We didn't have a humanitarian crisis before Biden got in. That's right. 7 million illegal aliens come into this country since Biden has been in office.
At least.
We are paying $45 million a month.
It's 60
On a
now,
state.
just so you know.
60
Yes,
Per month, per month.
Where did you guys find all that money?
And that's the thing, it's like, wait till they start raising our taxes, because they're scaring all the wealthy people out because of the millionaires tax. So the people who can leave, they're gonna be gone. And they don't stick these people in their communities. That's why they didn't put them, the beautiful people, including Obama. This is part of the fundamental transformation of the country into a third world hellhole. That was the plan under Obama, and now we're living it. We are fundamentally transforming the country into a third world hellhole. And our taxes, the inflation is gonna go out of control. Welcome to Venezuela. And it's coming. And if we don't all stand up,
It's here.
and we don't realize that this is only gonna get 10 times worse, and each and every one of us are gonna be negatively impacted, and the crime is gonna go absolutely through the roof. All these military-aged young men that come in here, I mean, you know, wait till the uprising, it's coming. At some point it's coming. But it's frightening, and we need to stand up and stop normalizing this and allowing them to normalize this. This is some humanitarian crisis, like, you know, every country but ours has had, you know, has blown up or had a nuclear bomb, and we have to take every person. How many millions upon millions? By the time that fool is out of there, they're going to have increased the population by close to 10% with illegal aliens during his administration. That's disgraceful. These people, most of them are contributing nothing, and even if they are working, they're all getting subsidies.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. And anyone who doesn't believe it.
And how come, if those apartments or those facilities are available, why aren't we putting in
The people
our
on the
friends,
streets in
our
Hyannis.
neighbors
The vets.
that are looking for apartments?
They were in there and they were forced out. American citizens were
right.
forced out. And we did nothing.
No,
And
they were-
we
they
don't
were
know
given the
where
option
they
to pay
are.
triple what they were
They're probably
paying.
living off the street. This
They weren't
cannot
forced out.
continue.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, that was one thing, is how is the governor's getting, she's, you know what she's doing to you, right? She's not paying any attention to any of you. She's going over your head and saying, I got the place to send them. And as
That's
a
pretty
business-
obvious, yeah.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I'd be outraged. You know, we had COVID, it was an epidemic. This is a crisis, another epidemic that's hit us. It's gonna affect our elderly, us,
Our babies.
our babies. We should be so outraged.
We are.
We are.
Yarmouth. And I'm not just talking about the board, I'm not saying the board, I'm saying shame on Yarmouth if we're not out there making as much noise as we can our local newspaper isn't even picking
No,
up
nothing.
the crisis.
Nothing.
Why is that?
Nothing.
Well,
And
them,
so,
them,
we're not
them,
making enough
them.
noise.
It's the
This
them.
should be a national news. I know it's hit a few stations, but it's not out there enough.
It may be before you
I
get
hope
done.
so. I hope so. And as a business owner in Yarmouth, there have been many times legitimate, no offense, and by the way, kudos to our police and our firefighters, so what they're gonna have to go through.
Haven't heard anything. Monday morning, I get a text from a constituent with a clip from Hyannis News documenting that there were indeed people that were moved in, I think it was Sunday night.
Middle of the night.
Excuse me?
Nothing nefarious.
Middle of the night.
We got no advance notice, other than that they were gonna be moved in at some time Saturday morning, and that's what we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And Bob's doing his best to keep track of this, to get as much information as he can get, but as I said earlier, the communications are not complete and they're not consistent.
And who else is here that we don't know about?
There's lots of them, all
Go ahead,
along
ma'am,
Route
finish up.
28.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Tom, speak up, please.
Okay, I think that George has hit the nail on the head. I will upset that, leave it up to today.
Tom, we're not getting good audio from you.